Hello everyone, and thank you for stopping by at Auto Avenue. In this video, I'll be doing a wheel restoration. So as you can see, this wheel looks really dirty and doesn't look visually appealing at all. But if you wanted to go to that, then watch the entire video. In this case, the hubcaps are changed, the steel wheels have been repainted, and the tire has been coated with tire shine. So step 1, you'll want to jack up the vehicle. Then, you'll want to use a wrench and turn in a counterclockwise direction in order to remove all the bolts that are locking in the steel wheel in place. Then you'll want to remove the wheel from the hub. Since I only have one jack and will be performing this wheel restoration process on two wheels at once, you'll want to substitute a spare tire for one wheel. Tighten the bolts to some extent, but you don't have to tighten it all the way. In my case, I removed both wheels from the left side of the vehicle. The spare tire is supporting the front left of the vehicle, while a jack is supporting the rear left of the vehicle. Step 2. Now that you've removed the wheel from the vehicle, you'll want to use some isopropyl alcohol in order to remove some of that brake dust, dirt, grime, and other materials which have gotten onto your steel wheels. Dab it onto a paper towel and start wiping. Make sure to get into all of the creases, bends, and curves because you'll want this as dirt, dust, and grime free as possible. Next, you'll want to use some index cards. Stick these index cards in the opening in between the steel wheel and the tire. Make sure that there are no gaps in between the index cards because the last thing you want is for either paint to get on the tire sidewall or for paint to get in between that little gap between the steel wheel and the tire. And once you're done with this process, you'll want to take a rubber or latex glove, cut one of the fingers of the rubber or latex glove, and then use that to cover the valve which you use to fill up air for the tire. Now, if your steel wheels are rusted like mine, you'll want to use some Rust-Oleum rusty metal primer. Spray the primer onto the steel wheel, and you'll be giving 3 coats of this primer. Make sure to let it dry in between each coat. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to dry. Make sure to spray nice and evenly, covering the entire outer area of the steel wheel. Next, you'll want to use some spray paint. In this case, I used a paint and primer mix. It's the gloss black color. As with the primer, make sure to get all parts of the steel wheel and spray nice and evenly. Make sure that you don't see any of the heavy rust primer that you sprayed earlier. Also, similar to the primer, you'll want to spray 3 coats, making sure that you give 10 to 15 seconds for the paint to dry in between. Once you're done with the 3 coats of heavy rust primer and the 3 coats of spray paint, remove the index cards and the rubber glove finger from the wheel. And now as you can see, the steel wheel looks so much better. It looks far shinier. There's no more rust on it, no more brake dust. Just overall looks more visually appealing. And while I'm at it, I'll be using a wheel cleaner spray and spraying it on the rotor of my Civic in order to remove some of that rust that's starting to build on it. Next, you'll want to use some tire shine. In my case, I got Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel. And you'll want to use a foam pad. Pour some of the tire gel on the foam pad and start rubbing all around the tire sidewall. The tire gel makes the tire look a lot more shinier and overall makes it way more visually appealing and makes the tire stand out. Now we're almost done, but just look at this tire. It looks really, really good and way better than before we performed this wheel restoration process. In all honesty, the wheel looks either as good or better than new. And now, with some editing, it's daytime. And just look at this tire in the daytime. It looks really, really good. The tire almost looks as if it's sparkling, and I really love the outcome of this wheel restoration process. Now all you'll want to do is either put the original hubcap or the new hubcap In my case, I got a new hubcap. So you'll want to put it on the steel wheel and then bolt the wheels onto the center hub. Make sure to repeat this process for the two sets of tires on the other side of your vehicle as well. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it informative. Let me know your results in the comment section below. Thank you and have a great day.